Welcome, everybody, to another online Tecmo Super Bowl tournament game from GBLAN, featuring PunkyQB as the Cincinnati Bengals and ODell as the Chicago Bears. We're beginning at the start of the recording here. Kickoff to PunkyQB. Slight delay in the end zone there. And is pinned behind his 10-yard line. Not sure if he was looking away from the screen for a moment there. First and 10 for PunkyQB. Looks like we have a mix of pro set, offset, shotgun, and red gun at bottom. Then we have single back, we also have the pro set at running back 2, or run 2 rather. Really have no play to shadow run 1 or run 3 in this playbook. So when they're lining up, we'll know that it's coming. If there's a single back, it'll be run 3. And if you see the strong formation, then it'll be run 1. No offset for pass 2 either. So oftentimes the effectiveness of pass 2 is predicated on trying to make the opponent guess if it's going to be a run play or not. And that oftentimes will dictate which defender they use. Not sure what the delay here is, but it is the Bengals, and they've been a train wreck for quite some time. So, as we wait for this play to kick off here, did want to mention we've had a number of these videos that have been going on here for quite a while. And if there's any interest from the community in getting involved in online Tecmo, leave a comment below, and we'll make sure to reach out to you, get you informed on how that happens and how we go about doing this. We currently have 36 players involved in this tournament. That was a pass 1 play called. Tried to go with the running back streaking up top, and threw it into coverage. It fell incomplete. Looks like a run 1 coming here. Singletary gets knocked off his block, but he gets saved by the drone. Scary moment there for ODell. Could have been given up a first down and more. But instead, gets saved. And then, I don't know if there's lag involved here, but really an awful punt. Tried going full meter and got nowhere near it. Just got a sliver of the meter on the rotation there. And Odell's got a short field to work with. Run 2 called to Johnny Bailey. And Tecmo God's already singing the praises of Odell. Fumbles out of bounds, and he's not that close to the sideline when the fumble happens. So we also have a called run 4, and still completes the pass. So Bailey with the reception. Bailey, really a great resource that often players overlook when they play as the Bears. It's an absolute great option to run the ball with. Many players will put Neil Anderson in the passing game, as there is a severe lack of wide receiver talent. However, when you're going against the likes of David Fulcher, sometimes it's best to just find stationary targets to throw to, take the sure thing, and try to run with the quarterback on offense when you're not calling run. But quick 7-0 strike from Odell. That didn't take long. Cold pass 3. The hot route on this is typically set over to the running back 2 position up top. Running back 2. And that's where Odell went hoping that he would throw there. He ends up cycling back, throws it up top to wide receiver 1, who is barely open. Esiason makes a fantastic throw. A risky throw, but probably the correct one in that situation. Play was called to green, and just bounces outside for a minimal gain, 5 yards. Actually, quite a good gain for that play. You don't see it called too often. We have a called play there, and now we're looking at 3rd and long. So we went from 2nd and 5 to 3rd and 12. Pass 3, back-to-back called plays. This time he's not able to get enough time to check the ball down on this end of the field. Hopefully he can get himself a better punt. Muster back on the return, and a great punt. Fielded inside the 1 and tackled near the 2 or 3 yard line. So this is a great spot for PunkyQB to be in. And right now, Tomczak needs some breathing room. Gets it out to Bailey. Not sure the defender choice, why he went with Walker there. That just is not a... there may be better options on the Bengals between Fulcher, Francis are definitely better options there. We knew it was a pass play. Tomczak is able to find the open receiver. Anderson bounces out here. He actually had the first down there. Goes against the grain. Comes back behind. Breaks a tackle and then ends up getting the first down anyway. So possibly some unnecessary contact there. Trying to see what else he can get. One of the advantages with Neil Anderson is his running speed is higher than most running backs. He's able to change direction without really dropping too much speed, whereas depending on the maneuver, you'll see the defender kind of get stuck in the mud, and it can turn into some pretty big gains. So Neil Anderson, definitely a top 5 or 6 running back in Tecmo Super Bowl. So who are your top 5 running backs? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I think we all know who number 1 is. That's right, Johnny Johnson. Can't contend with his hidden stats. All right, so Neil Anderson, after a big run, doing some damage again, and is getting away from the pack here. And you have to wonder, is PunkyQB going to have to lean on run calls and try to cover the back end with Fulcher, mix in the occasional pass call, because he's not stopping the run with really any success at this point. We have ourselves a 14-0 game. Offensively, typically speaking, the Bears are fairly one-dimensional. And if you can force them to go down the field in 10 plays, by dinking and dunking and running around with Tomczak, that's usually a better pill than the one from the two-headed monster of Bailey and Anderson. Tries to go to Brown against Dano Wolford, who has extremely high interception stats. Really not a great target there, being that he wasn't open. Perhaps a 3rd down throw down the field if he was streaking down the field. 2nd down, he gets 3 yards, and 3rd and 7 coming up. And that time Singletary attempts to go through the middle of the line, which is the correct approach on that play, but just gets dinged up there, ends up getting popcorn. So normally that play is not effective against teams with strong middle linebackers, such as the Bears, the Vikings. Sometimes the Lions and the Jets all have that strong interior. You could also add matchups that involve the Saints have decent linebackers. So that's a play that normally you actually like to see that pro set dive in place of that sweep. And in fact, that's a play that you might see used against the Bengals as opposed to as them. But again, Singletary just wreaking havoc in the backfield. PunkyQB is going to punt this ball, and it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation here. He's been pretty anemic offensively. And ODell takes the punt with Munster. And the objective here is really just to not fumble. You had to deal with the 2 defenders there. And luckily, no special teams blunders there. Goes to Francis this time. Play up the middle. Nothing too exciting. And the strategy here is to hope to maybe get in a clear like this and, get into field goal range with the time that's allotted here. So well played here by ODell. A lot of people will call pass in that situation, thinking that they'll just go over the top with a long bomb. And he takes that advantage to go run against a pass call, get the blocking that he needs, and is able to put 3 points on the board. So, well thought out there by ODell. The only thing he didn't do was chew all the time off the clock, but he got darn close. So, going into halftime, PunkyQB has 0 points. ODell has 17. ODell will also be receiving the second half kickoff. And so, wisely, this is the right choice. You got to try to get a possession back. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work out. Bailey has the kickoff. Not sure why Bailey ran out of bounds there. Recovered onside kick. You can't fumble that. I would have attempted to juke and try to out-tap in that situation, get more yards. But right now, ODell has no reason to think that he can't put this in. So, first down play, 8-yard rush. And unless you start to see some of these calls played, or these plays called rather, I don't think you're going to see too many, risks or anything. Great throw to Morris. JJ kicks in. Really, the only thought there is sometimes Tom Zach might miss the throw. He almost did, but Morris was there to go up and get it. And when you don't cover a guy, that's likely to happen. So, 24-0 now, a 4-score game, 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal, just to get back into this. And really no evidence of being able to slow down the Bears, and no evidence of being able to really do any significant ball movement against the Bears. Looking here, we see Brooks is in good, Green is in excellent. We actually have very favorable conditions here. I would consider maybe putting Green in down where Brown is at the wide receiver 2 position. Having that running back has a little more power for blocking, and then also for burn routes with that. Looks like Brooks has actually been swapped around there, which is another option, but it's trading some stats. It's nothing significant. Getting more speed at the bottom might provide some throw opportunities, especially with CIN in good condition, but nothing doing there. The running back, too, in these routes really isn't doing anything specific as far as its speed. So, with the route tree that he has, and there he gets taken down by Mike Singletary in the background. He's not going to be given much of an opportunity here to get streaking opportunities down the field with the current lineup. And the only thing that's really helped him here is that Green actually, for the first time, is utilized with his excellent condition. Does get away from that pursuit on the back end. His starting speed is good enough that gets him away, but too little too late on third down here. We're punting. Kickoff received at the 16, or the punt received at the 16, and we have 2 minutes to chew off in the third, and the whole fourth quarter yet. Tom Zach's in bad. Harbaugh probably going in here. And I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of Harbaugh throws unless they're wide open here. Now, I have to double check who he's got in for the alignment there, but Fulcher should be trying to engage whoever the or whoever the wide receiver 2 is on the bottom and see if he can popcorn him. And that'll free up a drone to occupy another blocker on that play. Fulcher is, I think, the highest hit. Him and Ronnie Lott have like the highest hitting power safeties in the game. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. And when you go against wide receivers who typically have somewhere between 13 and 19 hitting power, if you have a 50-point hitting power gap, that player will instantly popcorn when they make contact with you. So different if it's user controlled, but we're talking about computer controlled players. And ODell just getting all the breaks here. Great break. Looks like it might be bottled up. He gets away from the pack. Man defender gets popcorn, caught in the shuffle. And while we have a 30-point game, soon to be 31 with the extra point incoming. So sometimes the question comes as, why do we broadcast and commentate games that have a disparity in the score like this? And the answer is a couple different reasons, but number one is every game is a learning opportunity. At some point, no matter how often or how little you've played Tecmo Super Bowl, you probably started in this position where, oh yeah, I thought I can do this, and then you played against someone who just really knows the game inside and out, and kind of puts you in a spot. And so every mistake is an opportunity to learn and correct that mistake and improve. And on the same note, it's an opportunity to show how things are done in a certain way. When you see a player like ODell just doing the little things correctly, engage the blocker at a certain time so he had enough time to out-tap that blocker or that defender and then still break away. So you can see that the timing of that engagement, you'll see the mix of the play call. Every once in a while thrown into pass play, not so much typically to pass, but he wants to test the waters and see, is he cheating up? Is he calling run every time? If he is and he's got an open guy, that's where he's probably going with the ball. And, kind of getting out of hand here with the luck here. Fumble bounces back to the Bengals out of bounds. We've got 3:26 left in the fourth. Let's see if PunkyQB can get something on the board for just a little bit of honor and help with the point differential. So the back end's pretty much covered here. So the further you move away trying to buy time, if you don't go deep, you're really giving the opportunity of that man defender to come up and bait you because you really don't know where he is in relation because your receiver is starting to get off frame. So you want to stay close to the line of scrimmage if you can, unless you're trying to go for a JJ. It takes less time for that ball to deliver. A lot of things can happen from the time you let ball to go from, say, 10 yards away to 30 yards away, and a lot of times people drop just too deep. Gets a first down there. And again, he's calling pass, and that's expected here. And Mugi is the hands guy here, so here's the guy you're going to throw it up to. And it's just a little bit overthrown. A few frames ahead, he might jump up and get that. And then when you overthrow and you have the defender on the back end like Carrier, you're going to get an interception. So just kind of weeding out the clock here. Get some drone help there, trying to defend Anderson on the run 1. You have run 4 here. Great change of direction. Anderson, his strength is changing. You'll see how fast he can maneuver, roll around, and even someone like Fulcher or Francis are affected by this. You see just another tool on the back end there. He's not as fast as Fulcher. Typically, you wouldn't want to use him as a man defender. Usually, Fulcher's the way to go. And some dancing going on. You saw, even though ODell is maneuvering away from the defenders, he still keeps his depth as in relation to the line of scrimmage. Little subtle movements there, and I'm not sure what the tapping situation was if ODell was in the lead there. That could have been an opportunity to tap him and break away from the pack. And again, not intentionally piling on. This is part of the tournament. The point differential that you win by determines your seed and who you play in the bracket. So at 41-0, definitely one of the wider scores that I've been a part of commentating. Biggest one I ever saw, I think, was 56, and that was in tournament play. I've played games against people that over 100 points were scored, but they just didn't know the game. And that doesn't count. People here have played the game for quite a while. And just looking at the game here, Anderson is really the story in this. Tom Zach actually 100% completion. You notice he didn't pass very much, but it was just enough. No interceptions. CIN 2 picks. Really couldn't be effective there. And then James Brooks, you look at that combined, they only had 65 yards rushing. I think the Bengals are more of a run team to open up the pass. CIN being a fairly mobile quarterback, I think his running speed is max speed is 19, is able to open up some things that way as well. But in this matchup, the less balanced team, the Bears, were just too much with their defense and their running attack against the Bengals. So ODell, the number 1 seed in his group, was expected to win this game, and PunkyQB hopefully will take something away from this and just see the little things that ODell was doing and try to find ways to improve the way that he executes his game. So thank you both for the upload, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you did, give it a thumbs down. And if you want to see other videos like what we have or get alerts when we have them, we're actually in the midst of an online Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. Hit that subscribe button. And we thank you for watching another GBLAN Tecmo video.